7 p.m. We'll begin with public participation. And I just ask, I have a list I'll read from. Please remember to state your name and address for the record. Limit your speaking time to 3 minutes. And ask that you address your remarks to the chair, not the audience or individual members of the council. So let's begin. First name on the list is Chris Conant.
Good evening. I'm Chris Conant. I'm a teacher at New Britain High School. I live at 188 Stanwood Drive in New Britain. I was here last week for the meeting and we didn't get a chance to speak, so I wanted to come and defend the proposed budget cuts for the education that we're seeing right now. Right now I'm specific, I don't think anybody should be losing their job, but right now I'm going to be defending the District Coordinator of Career Pathways and Community Partnerships, which is currently held by Sandra Sanford. Dr. Gasper uses the expression, building the beacon. I don't know if you've heard that before, but when I was putting this speech together, it really solidified the meaning for me because nobody has done more for our academies and our pathways at the high school than Sandra Sanford. We're nationally recognized by the National Academies Foundation with a distinguished title. So what we're doing at the high school and what has been happening is we're building classrooms to meet modern and industry standards, and we're connecting the students with many community partners and finding them internships, job shadows, going on field trips, having guest speakers come to the school. We have 4 academies at the high school. One is the Public Service Academy, one is Business and Finance. We have Health Services and the Academy I'm in, which is the Manufacturing, Engineering, and Technology Academy. I don't know if anybody was able to make it to the Academy's graduation last night, but we had 190 students graduate with distinction. If you do the math, that's around 30% of our graduating class. If you're talking numbers, that is a very significant number, but we still like it to be higher. The academies provide students with a vision and a goal for their future. So I've spoken with students before, and I encourage you to do the same. If you talk to people in this community, especially recent graduates, and ask them about the academies and their experience, I can almost guarantee you that they have positive things to say, and it made a big impact on their life and their future. Another number I wanted to put out there is that just in the Met Academy alone, which is one of 4 academies, Sandra Sanford has, in the last few years, raised over $1 million to upgrade our facilities there. And that's outside of district funds. So that's grant funding and community partnerships. That doesn't even count the middle schools, their shops. We have a health academy who's been upgraded. In our public service classroom, we literally have an ambulance simulator. So not just a touchpad, but an actual ambulance is built inside the classroom so that the students can get hands-on experience with that before they choose and go into that career. So I just wanted to end with saying that even though this isn't a traditional student-facing position, it's still facing elimination. But this impact that the position holds is massive, and it helps teachers also like myself to improve their instruction and actually offer real-world experience. There's still a lot to do. So without this position, I really believe that we're going to flatline, and we're being visited by other schools to see how we're doing it, and then eventually we'll drop. So we have to keep the momentum going. And I appreciate that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chris. Our next speaker, excuse me, is Christina Hout. Did I say that right, Christina?
Good evening, members of the council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here with my math instructional coach team, but I will speak on mine and their behalf as well. My name is Christina Hott. I live at 303 D. Walton Way in Thomaston, Connecticut. I'm currently a math instructional coach at Chamberlain Elementary School, supporting both teachers and students. I was previously a 4th and 5th grade teacher at Smith Elementary School for 8 years. Through both of these experiences, I have seen firsthand what fosters meaningful learning and the impact when those essential supports are no longer in place. I'm here to ask the council to fully fund the superintendent's budget so instructional coaching can continue to be funded and these critical supports offered to teachers and students. When people hear math coach, they sometimes picture an extra layer, something nice to have but not essential. I want to be very clear. This role is not an add-on. It is a part of the infrastructure that helps teachers teach and students learn effectively every single day. We work in classrooms side by side with educators, helping them plan lessons that meet the needs of all learners, especially those who struggle. We analyze students' work to identify misconceptions before they become long-term gaps. We support new teachers who are just building their practice, and also veteran teachers who are trying to adjust to new expectations and new standards. When a teacher is struggling with how to reach a group of students who just aren't getting it, we are often the first line of support. When a student falls behind in math, the intervention that we help to design and we help to provide students makes the difference between catching up and falling permanently behind. In fact, every math coach in elementary schools on average sees 4 to 5 intervention groups daily. Without coaches, teachers have less embedded support, instructions become less consistent across classrooms, and students will not receive any math intervention. This is not theoretical. We have seen it in other districts who have reduced instructional coaches. Students' outcomes declined, and rebuilding that capacity later is far more expensive than maintaining it now. I understand the reality of budget constraints, but I urge you to fully fund the superintendent's budget so the instructional coaches can continue to work with teachers and students. This role has a direct impact on classroom instruction, teacher effectiveness, and students' achievement. Over the past 3 years alone, elementary math proficiency increased by more than 11 percent points, rising from 7 to 19%, and the work is not done yet. If the goal is to improve outcomes for students, to close gaps, and to ensure every child has access to high-quality math instruction, that providing funds to ensure supports like instructional coaches are maintained are imperative to help us reach that goal. Thank you for your time, your service, and your commitment to our students in our community.
Thank you, Christina. That was a 3-minute speech. Our next speaker is Kevin Schubert.
How do you do? My name is Kevin Schubert. My residence is 86 Nettleton Hollow Road in Bethlehem, Connecticut. I run the auto shop at New Britain High School. I'm here to reinforce the wonderful things that Chris Conant said about Mrs. Sandra Sanford, who is the District Coordinator of Career Pathways and Community Partnership. My understanding of the issue at hand is the school side of town is short $5.6 million, and they're asking the municipal side of town for that $5.6 million. And I believe that one way to reduce the deficit, which I also believe is not uncommon in education, is to reduce some positions within the Consolidated School District of New Britain, right? Reduce some teachers and staff, one of which is, of course, Sandra Sanford. Now, Mrs. Sanford, as Chris had mentioned, has brought in millions from the outside. So if we're asking for $5.6 million from the inside, right, and she's bringing in money from the outside, it seems to me she would be the last person we would want to eliminate. Right. And just a thought that's been running around in my head that I want to leave you all with. To eliminate Mrs. Sanford's position as District Coordinator of Career Pathways and Community Partnership, based on all the money she's bringing in from the outside, would be, to me, like eliminating the goose that lays the golden eggs. Thank you for listening to me. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you, Kevin. Our next speaker is Sandra Sanford.
Good evening. My name is Sandra Sanford. I reside at 26 Pheasant Run in Newington, Connecticut. Good evening, members of the Common Council. To start, I want to thank you all, you and all the stakeholders engaged in this budget process. I serve as the District Coordinator of Career Pathways, and for transparency, my position is currently on the list to be eliminated due to the budget gap. My journey began in 2002, from business teacher to department chair to academy lead to assistant coordinator, and now coordinator. While my title has changed, one constant has been my commitment to the growth of Career Tech Ed, CTE. Building countless opportunities for New Britain students fosters the hands and minds on learning that provides them with a true competitive edge. Currently, we maintain a middle school pipeline in 4 distinguished academies at New Britain High School, each accredited by the National Academy Foundation. My role supports the teachers, curriculum development, professional development, work-based learning events, and numerous industry and community partnerships. The success of this coordination is reflected in our student outcomes. Students in the academies have a higher graduation rate, averaging an over 93%, while the high school average is 72%. All of our academy students participate in work-based learning experiences, connecting classroom theory to real-world practice. We have over 120 students a year on average that earn industry-recognized credentials such as Voluntary Income Tax Assistance, VITA, CNA, OSHA, currently SNAP-on, ParaPro, and most recently, we have the Emergency Medical Responder. We also facilitate 18-plus college credits, courses allowing students to earn transferable credits before graduation. Our academies are in a state of constant growth and expansion. We are not just maintaining, we are building, and this work spans over 4 critical sectors of our local economy. Academy of Health Sciences, direct pathways to healthcare. Academy of Business and Financing, developing the next generation of entrepreneurs and accountants. Academy of Public Service, serving our education and our first responder pathways. An Academy of Manufacturing, Engineering, and Technology, where working with the students earn Department of Labor pre-approved pre-apprenticeship hours. As stated by alumnus Isaiah Henry when he spoke, class of 2015, when he spoke at the Board of Ed meeting on April 6th, these academies provide immediate exit velocity into the workforce. However, expansion doesn't happen in a vacuum. Students cannot gain these future-ready skills if the infrastructure supporting their teachers and programs is dismantled. With the existing budget gap looming, we face a reality where, for the first time in over 30 years, a CTE Academies coordinator may not be represented at central office. This would make CTE the only subject without a dedicated lead to support professional development, the 501c3 partnerships, bringing outside funding into our district. As a comprehensive high school, we must balance college preparatory academics with vocational excellence. This is the economic development New Britain needs. In February, we had the pleasure of showcasing these academies to our state legislators, who were able to see the high level of future-ready skills our students are gaining. We would like to extend that same invitation to you for our next event, which is April 19th, for the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the automotive. Thank you for your time and your commitment to our students.
Thank you, Ms. Sanford.
May 19th, sorry, May 19th.
Our next speaker is Desiree Costa.
Good evening. My name is Desiree Costa. I live at 193 Amherst Street. Sandra Sanford is one of those administrator roles that many of you asked about last week that's possibly going to be cut. And it is not a fluff role, and it is not an administrator role we should be cutting. Her contributions are extraordinary. And the graduation rate for those academies is probably more than 93%. I heard over 95% compared to the 72% at this high school for any students that are not involved in the career academies. I would love to talk to you all about a number of things that are on your agenda tonight, and I don't have time to do that because I have to talk to you about education funding. That is how important it is. I would like to talk about number 19 in particular, but I don't have time for that. Many of you on this council know me. Some of you have known me for years. We've worked together, disagreed respectfully, supported one another, and shared the same hopes for this city. And because you know me, you also know this. I would not stand before you advocating for funding that was unnecessary, inflated, or irresponsible. I just would not do that. I wouldn't waste my time or yours. What we are discussing now is essential. This is no longer a conversation about trimming excess, cutting extras, or finding fluff in the budget. Those conversations have already happened, and those reductions have already been made. We are now at the point where failing to fully fund this budget, this education budget, means cutting essential roles, essential services, and essential supports for our children. And that matters, and I know you know this. Throughout the presentation last week that the superintendent provided, there seemed to be an effort to diminish some of the district's progress while simultaneously acknowledging that the Consolidated School District of New Britain has been historically underfunded for well over a decade. I struggle with that contradiction because we cannot acknowledge years of underinvestment and then criticize educators and administrators because recovery has not happened fast enough. Can't do that. Progress after prolonged underfunding is incremental by nature. And yet, despite those challenges, there has been progress. So when I hear comments like, I'm not impressed with these numbers, after hearing acknowledgement of years of financial neglect, it felt deeply dismissive of the work happening inside our schools every single day. And you get what you pay for. Especially because many of the people making decisions about this budget are not directly connected to the realities inside our school buildings. Some do not live here. Some are not closely connected to the New Britain education system, and some did not raise their children and do not raise their children in our education system. But the families who are living this every day do understand the impact. The educators understand it, the students understand it, the parents sitting awake at night worried about what gets cut next understand it, and they are asking this council to do what many promised during the campaign season, fully support public education. Tonight, I'm asking this council to increase the MBR by $2 million and to utilize $2 million from reserves to close the remaining gap, and that doesn't even fully close it. Not because it's politically convenient or easy, but because it is necessary. Because the cost of not doing it will be measured not only in numbers on a spreadsheet, it'll be measured in larger classes, reduced student support, lost opportunities, burned out educators, and children receiving less than they deserve. And our kids have been here begging to receive funds that are rightly theirs. I know, Alderman, I know, the gavel's been picked up. So I will finish, I know. This city cannot continue operating in a cycle where education is underfunded. You all know that. It's criticized for struggling under that underfunding and then denied the very investment required to improve outcomes. At some point, we have to decide whether we truly believe education is a priority or whether it is simply something we praise during campaigns and negotiate away during budget season. We can't do that. I believe New Britain is better than that. I believe in all of you. And I believe this council still has the opportunity to show our students, educators, and families that this sitting is willing to match its words with its actions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Costa.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Heather Miano.
Good evening, members of the Common Council and New Britain community. My name is Heather Miano. I live at 155 Stanwood Drive in New Britain. I'm a born and raised New Britain resident, a business owner within this city, and a teacher within the New Britain Public Schools. I am a proud graduate of New Britain High School, class of 2011, and a former student within the very academy system we are discussing tonight. I stand before you in strong support of Mrs. Sandra Sanford and the critical role she plays as District Coordinator of Career Pathways and Community Partnerships. Much of Mrs. Sanford's work happens behind the scenes, but the impact of that work is visible every single day in our schools and throughout our community. She has helped secure grants and funding opportunities that directly benefit our academies, teachers, and students. She works closely with our middle schools to ensure students and families are informed about all that New Britain High has to offer through showcases, academy open houses, and recruitment efforts. At the high school, it continues with, but not limited to, NAF initiatives, work-based learning opportunities, guest speakers, and internships. She has helped bridge the gap between the classroom and the real world by building meaningful community partnerships for our students. She also plays a major role in supporting teachers and staff through work with advisory boards, department collaboration, professional development, and individualized coaching opportunities that help strengthen our academies year after year. Although much of her work is done behind the scenes, she makes her presence known in the school, classrooms, hallways every week with check-ins and support. As someone who directly benefited from this academy model, I can personally say it changed the trajectory of my life. It inspired me to come back and give back to the city that taught myself. I taught for 5 years at Smalley Elementary School, and I am now finishing my 5th year at New Britain High School, teaching within the Academy of Public Service, teaching many of the courses that I once was a student in. And it prepared me for the future that I am going through today. So much more has been added to the Academy's development since my own participation in 2011, and we wish for it to continue and grow. Its growth will certainly be stifled if the position of District Coordinator of Career Pathways and Community Partnerships that Mrs. Sanford holds will be eliminated. Every year, educators are asked to do more, improve more, and create more opportunities for our students, and we're asked to do it with fewer resources, less support. I live it every single day at my classroom at New Britain High. Removing Mrs. Sanford from this role would not only be a loss for staff, but a tremendous loss for our students and the future growth of our academies. We need to invest in our students' futures. We need to invest in retaining the excellence that New Britain has to offer. It begins with Sandra Sanford and the key role that she plays. I really urge you to recognize this value that the work she has done has had a lasting impact on the New Britain students and the family and communities here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Heather. Our next speaker is Meg Shea. Meg.
Good evening, members of the Common Council. I'm Meg Shea. I live on North Main Street in West Hartford, but I will say I have worked in the Consolidated School District, first as an art educator, now as an administrator at New Britain High School, and I've been in the district for over 30 years, 32 and a half to be exact. I'd like to take you back, if I can, to March 2020, when COVID hit. And education almost overnight came to a standstill. Schools closed. Uncertainty filled our communities. The world paused while we tried to figure out what came next. Yet, within weeks, educators were back up and running, doing what they have always done, serving students and their communities. During that time, society began to see teachers differently. People called them heroes because they were, and they still are. And at New Britain High School, one moment during that crisis captured exactly what makes this city so special. Our New Britain High School gymnasium was transformed into a working manufacturing operation, producing face shields for healthcare workers. They were the other heroes of that moment, if you remember. New Britain High School met academy teachers, other content area teachers, students, and community members came together for a common purpose. Political affiliation did not matter. Titles didn't matter. What mattered was helping people get the job done. That collaboration did not happen by accident. It was possible because of relationships that already had begun and were built a few years earlier. One of the people responsible for helping create those partnerships was Sandra Sanford, through her work coordinating pathways for our students. Before the pandemic, Sandra helped forge relationships between our New Britain schools and local manufacturing partners, formerly OK Industries, but now AVNA. Those partnerships connected classrooms to careers and gave students opportunities to learn skills rooted in the very history of this city. New Britain was built on manufacturing. It is part of this city's DNA. Sandra Sanford has helped strengthen New Britain High's Manufacturing Academy and expand opportunities for all students who may one day stay in this city work in this city, and continue to build this community. I understand there are difficult decisions to make. I ask you to think beyond a line item and think about what positions like Sandra's represent. They represent partnerships, opportunities, workforce development, and the connection between schools and community. They represent the very collaboration that carried us through one of the hardest moments in our recent history. Sandra's position as District Coordinator of Career Pathways and Community Partnership reaches far beyond the walls of a school building. Sandra's position is one of those positions that will be eliminated if the budget shortfall remains as is. I really appreciate you listening this evening. I appreciate you being here last week and listening, and I thank you.
Thank you, Meg. Our next speaker is Paul Edwards.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Edwards, and I live at 717 Shuttle Meadow Avenue in New Britain. I'm here to speak to you tonight about what I believe is item 19 on your agenda list tonight, the resolution appointing Jamie B. Vaughn as alderperson for Ward 2. First, I want to address a procedural concern I have that I want to bring to your attention. Make sure you think about this. And second of all, I want to provide my support for the appointment of Mr. Vaughn to that position. Procedurally, what is public record is at the last regularly scheduled Common Council meeting, this body appointed Mr. Colin Osborne to that position. This body has taken no action since that appointment happened, although it's my understanding that Mr. Osborne submitted an email indicating that he wished to resign about 3 hours after receiving legal papers suggesting that his appointment was improper and in violation of state law. I'm unaware of any action this council has taken to accept his withdrawal or his resignation or otherwise undo what I believe was an illegal appointment at the last meeting, and I offer that to your consideration as something that I think this council needs to consider and take up tonight as a condition preceding to addressing item 19. With respect to Mr. Vaughn's appointment, I just want to remind this council that in 2022, the Charter Revision Commission in this city amended specifically Section 3.3 of the Charter to specifically adopt and embrace the minority representation rule set forth in Connecticut state law. In particular, you can find it in Section 9-167A, subparagraph G of the Connecticut General Statutes. It's crystal clear that under the circumstances where Alderman Hargraves ran as the endorsed Republican candidate, appeared on the ballot as the endorsed Republican candidate, was not otherwise on the ballot, and won re-election to that office, he is considered a Republican under state election law, and therefore, under 9-167A, subparagraph G, his replacement must be a registered Republican, not someone who was a Democrat until the day before someone suggested he switch his party status to try to receive this appointment. That's illegal, and the legislature thought of that in advance. That's why there's a 90-day requirement. So, Mr. Vaughn satisfies all of the credentials and qualifications for this appointment. He lives in the city of New Britain. He is a resident of Ward 2. He is an adult and a voter. He is a registered Republican. He satisfies all the criteria for the appointment. There is nothing that disqualifies him from the appointment. And if this body fails to appoint him because it doesn't like his politics, I would suggest to you that you consider very strongly that that may very well be an act by this council that violates Mr. Vaughn's First Amendment rights. I urge you to support the appointment. He is an active member of this city. He cares greatly about this city. He is a veteran. He is a constable. He's served on commissions in this city. He is utterly qualified and deserves the appointment of this council. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Our next speaker is Don Satalino. Don.
Good evening, Common Council. I forgot all my notes, so I'm going to make this impromptu, so I'm going to have him take this over here. I have two things on the agenda, okay? I don't know which one is more important than the other, okay? One is with the education, okay? A lot of cities and towns in this state are struggling for education, okay? Let me tell you something. When the lottery started 55 years ago, the money was supposed to go for education and the elderly. From what I could see, it hasn't worked out for anybody, okay? And taxpayers in this city and all over the state, you can't tax them to death with increasing their property tax. You can't do that, okay? Someone needs to call Lamont and release some of this money that we have. You get a ton of money from the lottery and the casinos. Any state in this country would love to have that income. Any state, okay? I'm not an educator, I'm a child in the system. Any educator in this city, or any city or town in the state, shouldn't have to take money out of their pocket to pay for materials and supplies. I wouldn't. Get the money from the state, right? They're loaded. So someone needs to contact Lamont. I will run into Lamont one of these days, and I will tell him. I will tell him myself, okay? I'm in the bar industry. I do parties and functions. I'll catch up to him. I'll catch up to him. I know I will, okay? You can't tax people to death. You can't. It needs to stop, okay? Get money from the state. In fact, Lamont is probably on his computer right now seeing how much money he's got in his account because he's a hoarder. It's got to stop. That's the first agenda. Second agenda, okay? I know there's an issue here with the use of credit cards in the city here, okay? Someone needs to be held a little more accountable where these credit cards go and what you spent and all that. I know there's an investigation going on and all that stuff. I don't know all the details, okay? But I can't see a mayor having a credit card, okay, and joining a club. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay, I'm sorry. That's taxpayer dollars. Take the money and spend it for a better use where it could benefit every city in the needs to stop. So someone needs to look into that. In fact, if the mayor has a credit card, I don't know. I don't need to know. But if he has one, he should surrender the card. This way he won't get in trouble. Simple. I don't want to stand here 6 months or a year from now going over the same thing. That's it. Thanks.
Thanks, Mr. Satalino.
My pleasure.
That's all the names I have on the list. Is anybody calling in? 7923. Caller 7923. Name and address, and the floor is yours for 3 minutes.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. It's Gail Connolly, 2200 Stanley Street in good old New Britain. First off, I do want to ditto everyone that spoke on in support of the academies. My son is a graduate of the Health Academy. Love you, Miss Sanford. But tonight, I'm actually calling on something that's not on the agenda, but somebody reached out to me, and I wanted to just get this in your ear. It's about proposed development on the corner of Finneman Road and Slater Road. While this project is being called a travel center, it is in reality truck stop. And I believe the community deserves a full, honest discussion about that, what that means to our area. My biggest concern is the location of this project and its proximity to our schools and residential neighborhoods. Increased truck traffic, will impact safety, congestion, noise. It'll be another Costco, we know that. And I think also air quality. I'm also concerned about the environmental impact on local wildlife and surrounding New Britain businesses. There's 2 gas stations right down the road. I think they would be impacted. Beyond traffic and environmental concerns, I believe public safety issues must also be considered. Large truck stop operations can bring increased crime and risk associated with human trafficking. I mean, Google, we gotta love Google sometimes, but the last study was done 2018, and 37% of human trafficking cases started at a truck stop. Whether or not those issues would occur here, and I'm not saying it's truck drivers, I'm saying it's truck stops or travel centers. They're serious enough that should be openly addressed before any decisions are made. And frankly, I'm new to speaking about any type of development issues, but I care deeply about protecting our community and especially our students, and making sure residents have a voice in decisions that will affect us for years to come. I've already contacted the mayor, the superintendent, my Ward 4 council members, and 2 of the Board of Education, president and vice president, because I believe this proposal deserves careful review and a strong public input. I'm coming to you all with the assumption that tapping into the domestic water line that is serviced by the New Britain Water Department would come before one of the commissions or council. I'm just making that assumption because I really don't know how this works. I just know it's in their plan. I'm just hoping that you take time to fully evaluate the long-term impacts on public safety, traffic, infrastructure, quality of life before moving forward with any type of approval. If this doesn't come before council, I would appreciate the voices going to the Farmington Town Manager, their Planning and Zoning Committee. There is a public hearing next Wednesday, May 20th, for anyone who wants to hear more about it. I can send you links to all the documents where there's just a one-liner in there that says tapping into the domestic water that we service. So again, I don't know what we can do to stop it, but I do plan on being there on the 20th. And look at that, perfect timing. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Conley. Any other callers? None? All right, does anybody else wish to address the council? Anybody else? Ms. Lou? You too. Youth before age, Mr. Lou.
My name is Lisa Liu, and I live at 63 Bassett Street. The month of May is Military Appreciation Month, and I am coming here to let you know about the many memorials in this city for the people of New Britain that have served in the military. 2 of them have some special qualities. One is the Iwo Jima Monument on the Newington, New Britain town line. This is the original national monument of Iwo Jima in New Britain, and a little bit more important than the famous one in Arlington National Cemetery. It contains rocks from the actual Mount Suribachi that the soldiers planted a flag on. And if you don't know that before, you would be interested to know it now. The second one is the monument for the Buccaneers, and I apologize if I don't pronounce it correctly. I learned that this monument is one of the largest monuments dedicated to the regiment outside of Puerto Rico. And I hope to come and see it sometime up close. For this month, I believe there's a flags-in ceremony at Fairview Cemetery around 6 o'clock on Thursday the 21st. If we create more events for people to acknowledge the service of people from New Britain in May, after hours, not just during the weekdays, I think that we could benefit from learning more about our local history and appreciate the sacrifices that people from New Britain made, and for those who never came home. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Liu. Anybody else wish to address the council?
Good evening. Sorry that I wasn't here in time to sign up. My name is Angelo D'Alfonso. I live at 16 Jones Drive in New Britain, and I'm here in support of not only my dear friend, but one of the finest educators, director of our academies, Ms. Sandra Sanford. I retired from the Chamber of Commerce in 2015. I was fortunate enough to be able to provide some of my so-called expertise to the high school academies to bring in partnerships that will benefit our students. Mrs. Sanford's leadership has exemplified the work that goes on behalf of the students. What was said tonight with our educators here, our teachers from the various academy segments and all that, I would invite you to come in if you haven't already done so. I would personally invite you to spend some time at the high school, and I will be your personal guide to show you what has been done on behalf of our students by Mrs. Sanford. Last night we had a graduation of our academy students from the various academies. With the auditorium was filled with all the parents of these students to see what was going on. A lot of these kids are going on to further their education. A lot of them have made contacts throughout the last number of years with our community partners, whether it be manufacturing, automotive, or whatever the case may be, public service. So really, it would be a travesty. It would be a travesty for the cuts that have been proposed, but especially with the leadership of Mrs. Sanford. I would hope that I know you have tough decisions to make, but this would be an easy decision once you see the work that has been going on for the last number of years. I'm also a proud product of the high school. For 60 years ago was my graduation year, but seeing what has been going on firsthand in these last number of years that I've been involved, you would be proud, not only proud of our administrators, but proud of our students and how they excelled within their organizations. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. D'Alfonso. Any other speakers? Any members of the public wish to speak to the council? One more time, any other members of the public? Seeing none, this concludes public participation. It's 7:42. And I would just invite all the people to comment briefly on what they've heard. Alderman Smedley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to rise and thank all my colleagues from the school district for continuing to come out to advocate for the needed funding to close the gap. Please know that myself, the minority caucus, are putting in some work to make suggestions to the majority caucus to hopefully help answer that call for the funding that is needed. I also want to mention that I do rise in full support of Sandra Sanford as well. She is a champion of our school district. I have the privilege of executing the projects that she dreams up in the school district, one of which she invited you to, the auto shop renovation on May 19th. And when I execute a project for her, we start with a budget collaboration meeting, and she says, this is what I want to do. And I say, you can't afford that. And she tells me, start, I will find you the money. And she normally does. So I think that's a very, very important and great quality that she brings to the school district as an administrator. She goes out and finds the money beyond the operating budget that we need. So thank you, Sandra, and thank you to everyone who came out to support her.
Thank you, Alderman. Anybody, other member? Alderwoman Maldonado.
Hi, I just want to say thank you to everyone who came out once again to advocate for education. I completely agree with everything you all said. Every single position in our school is essential. Education should always be a priority regardless of circumstances. Thank you.
Alderwoman Scott. Oh, did somebody else? We'll let Alderwoman Scott go.
Standing. All right, everybody, peace and love. Every part of education is very important and it's essential and it's necessary. Tutors, I'm going to give a little self-disclosure. If I didn't have tutors and extra support, I would not be standing here right now. So believe me, I know firsthand how important they are, and making sure that our kids are learning in and outside of our classrooms. And if I have to myself, I just planned a field trip and took the kids to the Capitol, whatever it takes to get them out and in the community so that they can thrive as adults. The Board of Ed, we delegate we do the budget, right? And then the Board of Ed will delegate where the money goes. So we don't have any, we can't control who they give money to. But like I said at the Board of Ed meeting, I think it might be important for us to be creative. And I really admire you guys for coming here and standing on business and not backing down. I'm really happy that the state gave us some money, and we're trying to work on actually improving the gap that it's been flat funded. I love that our alderman wants to help and support with funding, but that has been not funded under People's Watch here, and it needs to stop. Like, we are working towards stopping the flat funding here. So regardless of what happens with this budget, we are making huge improvements this year. So I just want to make sure that everybody's clear with that. I raised a daughter here. I know the concerns that every parent has. I lived those concerns myself, and it was not easy, believe me. But, you know, keep standing on your business, because it's our job as adults to protect, nurture our children, nurture all of them. So I want to thank the gentleman that came and talked about accountability, because I think it's really important that we do that. And you're right, that kind of stuff does need to stop. And the caller, Gail, I had someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone was talking to me about the truck stop, and I have the same concerns that you have with that. And it was during the Sexual Assault Awareness Month, because the safety concerns around that seem to be, I mean, I need more information about it, of course, but I think I have the same concerns that there could be safety issues. And again, with our children, we don't want to have those concerns. So I thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much for coming out and bringing up our troops. We support our troops every single day. The courage that they have and what they have done for us every day, and they still do for us today. So thank you so much for bringing that up as well. And I don't really want to, I mean, we'll get to it when we get to item number 19. I didn't forget you. We're here too. But I do have concerns with our charter. I believe, like, if there's some way that we could fix our charter, because we've had issues with this prior to this appointment. Like, these appointments this term have been a concern. So I think we need to look at how we fill a position here on the council moving forward might eliminate some of the problems that we've had with that. But thank you all for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Barrero.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to thank everyone who came forward from the school system to support Sandra Sanford. She sounds like a marvelous person, so I'm rooting for her, and you know, hopefully everything can go the way it needs to go. And I also want to thank Gail Colony for calling online to give us that information about the truck stop on Feynman Road and Slater. It's good to know that information. We'll look into that information, as well with Sue for speaking on behalf of the monuments, the Iwo Jima, the cemetery, and the regiment. So with that being said, just thank you for all the military members in the past and current for your service. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Gibson.
Good evening. So I'm gonna go twofold on the education department, especially the academies. I was fortunate as a parent to have a daughter complete the health academy and be very successful and go on and receive a full academic scholarship from New Britain High School. And the other part to that, I was one of those manufacturer workers when COVID hit under the leadership of Sandra Sanford. So I'm just hoping that we can find a way to fill that gap and fulfill all these positions, and we all be in a good position as far as education go. So we will continue to work, and hopefully we'll get to that point. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other members? Any other members? Seeing none, I just want to conclude and again thanks for the advocacy for the academies at the high school. I appreciate it. The good work's being done. I just want to summarize where we're at this point in time in the budget-making process. We have received word that we have $13.2 million increase from the state of Connecticut. That's an 18% increase in education. It's going nowhere else. And we have, the mayor's proposed budget has raised the MBR, which is a significant turn of events. I know the amount isn't enough to solve school funding equity, but that math tells me that there are no longer 101 positions on the block, as was stated on April 23rd. And I look forward to having more clarity. Again, as Alderwoman Scott said, we're doing our best to allocate the funds. We have no say, as appropriately it is, boards of education are autonomous as they should be. Those decisions rest with the superintendent's recommendations of the Board of Education. So I hope we can work our way through that. And then just to conclude, I went over to Farmington Monday night, to Ms. Connolly's point, to the planning zoning, where they set the date for a planning zoning hearing in July. I believe the date she references an environmental commission. This is entirely, because it's Farmington land, in the hands mostly of the town of Farmington. However, the site is almost contiguous with backyards of people on Slater Road, to her point. So I think New Britain folks can weigh in on this very strongly through the summer. That's all I have. And that concludes public participation and responses. At 7:52, the regular meeting will begin shortly.
Council members, can you find your seats, please? Great, thank you. I call to order the May 13, 2026 regular meeting of the Common Council. The time is now 7:59 p.m. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Your Honor. Alderman McNamara.
Here.
Alderwoman Scott.
Here.
Alderman Simpson.
Present.
Alderman Smedley. Alderman Malinowski. Alderman Gibson. Alderwoman Delernia. Alderman Santiago.
Present.
Alderwoman Barbosa. Alderwoman Vargas.
Excuse.
Alderwoman Maldonado. Alderman Centeno.
Present.
Alderwoman Ortiz Luna. Alderman Barrero.
Present.
13 present, Your Honor, 1 excuse.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, for the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
As we gather for this first meeting in May in a season of renewal and gratitude, we ask for your guidance over this council and our community. Grant us wisdom to lead fairly, patience to listen openly, and compassion to serve every resident with care and respect. We give thanks for the mothers, grandmothers, caregivers, teachers, and all those whose nurturing spirit strengthens our families and neighborhoods each day. May we also remain mindful of those facing hardship, illness, loneliness, or uncertainty, and recommit ourselves to building a city where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Bless the work before us tonight. May the decisions reflect unity, accountability, and hope for the future of our community. In your name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Alderman Santiago for the minutes.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept the minutes of the regular meeting of January 14 and April 22nd of 2026.
Second by Alderwoman Barbosa. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Santiago for amendments. Any amendments?
No amendments, sir.
Okay, no amendments. Madam Clerk, any petitions?
No, Your Honor, there are no petitions.
Thank you. Alderman Santiago for the consent agenda.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept the consent agenda of items A, B, C, and D.
Second by Alderman Smedley. Okay. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Alderman McNamara.
Yes.
Alderwoman Scott.
Yes.
Alderman Simpson.
Yes.
Alderman Smedley. Yes. Alderman Malinowski.
Yes.
Alderman Gibson. Yes. Alderwoman Delernia. Yes. Alderwoman Barbosa.
Yes.
Alderwoman Maldonado. Yes. Alderman Centeno.
Yes.
Alderwoman Ortiz Luna. Yes. Alderman Borrero.
Yes.
12. Yes.
Was that 12?
Yes.
13.
Should be 13.
Yeah.
I didn't call Santiago.
Oh. Yes. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
No. Okay.
Oh, okay.
13, yes.
Apologize.
Motion carries. Alderman Centeno for the first resolution, item number 1.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 1.
Second.
Second by Alderwoman Luz Luna.
This resolution is to revise section, some sections of the ordinance.
Microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry. some sections of the ordinance that relate to, let me get my notes here real quick. Ordinance relating to general purposes, animal health, blight, and housing violations. And they increased the penalties, which haven't been increased since 2018. And I urge adoption.
Any questions or comments? Alderwoman Scott.
I just wanted to just raise some concerns that some constituents brought to me. I'm not against this resolution. I just want to hopefully just encourage, just make a statement that we try to improve the trash pickups. Like a lot of people are not being able to get rid of furniture or things like that because we only have 5 items, once a year. And then they're actually right now, and I just called yesterday, we don't have any cans available in our city. And it's nobody's fault. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. It's just that they haven't been delivered yet. So just to keep in mind, just for our residents, that this fine is increasing, but I want to work towards helping access to getting rid of our bulk pickups and things to help our residents with the trash pickups. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderman Smedley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a question to the author of the amendment, and specifically item E. Any person found in violation of subsection B in excess of 3 incidents, I'm going to surmise, we're going to remove their trash cans if they don't pay the fines. Is there somebody present who added that language?
Corporate Counsel? Or Caleb?
And I apologize, I wasn't at the committee meeting. I had a work obligation, so I couldn't attend for discussion purposes there. Good evening. Thank you. So I guess my concern, and you're a great person to address that, is if we remove trash cans from a residence, I imagine the trash is just going to either pile up on the property or on the curb line. So it's starting a cyclic process that will probably never end. And we struggle already with trash on properties. So how is this going to benefit?
Yeah, so our concern is we do have the regulation on the books that requires that people take out their garbage cans no earlier than 12 o'clock the day before pickup and bring them back inside no later than 24 hours after pickup. We do have, Public Works has staff that patrols the city and issues warning and tickets for those items. This essentially gives us a little bit more teeth that if we continue to be ignored, that there is that threat. And I completely hear your concerns with what happens when we take them away, and then this isn't necessarily focused on the blight and housing violations. This is specific towards people leaving their carts out or garbage carts out and not removing them in. And so the idea is just to make sure that there's some sort of a backstop for this.
Okay, I just want to express my concern that I have a feeling this consequence would lead to a bigger problem that we're already trying to fight. So.
And to that point, I mean, it is up to Director Moriarty to enact that. It doesn't necessarily have to do it.
Sure.
I have to think, and I don't want to speak for him, but I have to think that this would be in a very rare cause when this would have to take place.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Simpson.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think I share a similar concern there, primarily for public health concerns. Most of our residents in the city of New Britain are tenants, and so if this, if, for example, a landlord is responsible for bringing out the cans to the curb and they're not doing that properly, whether they live there or not is kind of secondary to the people who do live there, right? These are their tenants, and they're, by right, according to the city of New Britain, entitled to safe, fair housing. And if we prevent people's method of disposal of waste, whether it be tied to other behaviors or not, That problem will either be exacerbated for blighted properties currently existing, or it's going to create new instances. And this is just a matter of analyzing human behavior, right? If we block the way out, it's going to stay in. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderwoman DeLerner.
I agree with both the alderman concerns. But in addition, can I be reminded again of the percentage of these fines that we actually collect?
Caleb, you want to answer that?
I felt this one coming, so I did the math. Bear with me 1 second. And so these numbers were current up to, I believe, last year. We're still trying to recover that data, so this is from 2025. So from 2014 to 2025, we wrote a total of $1,067,752 in fines. We collected $600,023. It's 57%. Now, keep in mind that the earlier years, and as we discussed in the subcommittee meeting, the earlier years we have a higher rate of collection just because there was more time for whatever lien we may have placed on the property to then be paid off. And again, the idea is eventually that property will transfer, and in order to have a clean title to sell the property, the lien has to be paid.
Okay, so we're looking at 57%. We're increasing now by another $50. Do we have the manpower to go out and enforce these fines?
We're enforcing the ordinances.
The violations, right?
Yep.
But still, how do we go about enforcing?
Collecting, I think, is a
right. Okay. Do we have them? Yes.
So collecting is the property owner, the person responsible for the violation that was cited in the first place, is notified that now we have a legal process. We go through a judgment lien, so it's a very thorough process to make sure that the property owner is notified through the regulatory process. So they have every opportunity from the warning that it's going to come, to the ticket to that's left on their house, to the letters that are sent out from our clerks, to finally the notice that it's being placed on the land record. So in every step of the way, that property owner is notified that this is going to happen. And it's up to them. They can pay it today or they can pay it in 10 years, but eventually they have to pay it.
But we're still looking at 57%, and that was only at $99.
Yes. So it was 57% overall over the entire length of our program. The first year is 75%. The second year is 80%. The third year is 80%. The fourth year is 85%. So like I said, those earlier years, because they've been there longer, the rate of return is much higher. Yeah. And so play that out over, through our term here with the city, those numbers will continue to increase. So I anticipate that those 2014 numbers will eventually get to 100%. We just have to be patient.
Okay. Unlikely, but okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no other questions, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Okay. Oh. Okay. So we have 4 and 1. Okay. Motion carries. Alderman Borrero for item number 2.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to accept and adopt resolution number 2. This resolution is for Mavis Discount Tire, seeking the grant of certificate of location approval to allow the DMV issuance of motor vehicle repair license and property known as 7615 Hartford Road in New Britain, Connecticut, and I urge adoption.
Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Alderman Santiago for item number 3.
Thank you, Your Honor. Make a motion to accept item, sorry. I make a motion to accept item number 3.
Second by Alderwoman Luz Luna.
This is a Neighborhood Assistance Act program on the authority of the Chapter 228A of the Connecticut Statute. The Neighborhood Assistance Act provided tax credits for businesses, firms that contribute financially to community programs that have received both municipality and state of Connecticut Department of Revenue Services approval. A public hearing of the Council of the City of New Britain was held on April 22nd, 2026 on the subject of Neighborhood Assistance Act programs and the following applications. The YMCA of New Britain, House of Teens for $25,000 with the request. CCARC, Inc., the Kelsey Street Group Homes for $9,775,000, and Neighborhood Housing Services for Broad Street and West Main Street Energy Efficiency retrofitted improvement projects, which was $150,000, and I urge adoption.
Thank you. Any questions on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Santiago for item number 4.
Thank you, Your Honor. Make a motion to accept item number 4.
Second by Alderman Simpson.
And, Your Honor, I would like to substitute the original resolution to the one that I passed to all council members.
So all
Your
council
Honor.
members have these substitute?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm just going to recuse myself from the vote. My son is a student at one of the organizations that applied for this, so I'm going to recuse myself.
Thank you, Alderwoman.
Then I have to go back to substitute.
I just, point of inquiry, mostly for Corporation Counsel on this.
Just really quickly, so the state law allows a member of the legislative body to also be a member of the public library in a municipality. I'm that member, and I see the library has money here. Do I recuse myself here, or since this is something put on between the city in conjunction with the library, can I stay?
Councilman, that's always a decision for the individual member. If you feel that there's a conflict or potential, or the optics are bad, then I would recuse myself if that's how you feel. It's a personal choice.
I see. It's not necessarily how I feel, considering the state law does specifically have a special carve-out. In addition, this is a partnership with the New Britain Institute and the.
You don't have to address
Council
me,
here.
Council, you can
Thank
address
you.
them.
No, I'm just saying, I just want to cover bases here. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman.
All right, back to substitute. As you know, it was substitutions were that we removed $5,000 from the Boys and Girls Club Camp Shade and $5,000 from the Park and Recs after school program and allocated it to $10,000 to the Big Brother, the Big Sisters. Otherwise, everything else it totals up to the same amount, which would be the $1,509,184. And I urge adoption.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman McNamara. Okay. Now, any questions on the substitute? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman McNamara for item number 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hold on a second. Oh. She was listening. He's back. Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I believe the motion, you voted on the motion to substitute. Did you vote on the motion as amended? So I think we have to just go back to item number 4 and vote.
Okay. So we did the substitute. Okay.
The substitute, but I don't believe you voted on the motion as amended.
Okay. So, do we have any questions? Okay. So we're voting on the motion as amended. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The motion carries. Okay. So now we go to Alderman McNamara for item number 5.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a motion to accept and adopt number 5.
Second. Second by Alderman Santiago.
On the motion, this is a project at West Main and Vine Street intersection for improvements to provide safer pedestrian connectivity, increased accessibility, improved operations for vehicular travel, and meant as an enrichment of the surrounding neighborhoods. These street improvements are coming at a cost of $794,400. The DPW department has identified the lowest responsible bidder as Colosol Site Works Corporation, and I just have a question or two for Mr. Moriarty if he's here.
Is Mr. Moriarty present? Yes, he is.
Evening, Mark.
How you doing?
I just like your take on the timeline for this project, beginning and to end.
Well, if you guys approve this tonight, the pre-construction meeting will be as early as Friday. Project is, it would be done, it's scheduled to be done by November 15th, actually. So this, the timing works out pretty well. Colosol is just completing McKinley drainage improvements. Will be done within the next couple of weeks. So actually the timing works out good where their crew should be able to slide right over to this project quickly.
So that Overlook McKinley project is nearing completion, and so the inconvenience to
all the structure work the drainage work is done. They're doing surface work. Paving will happen within the next just over a week.
All right, thank you. And I urge adoption, Mr. President, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman. And Alderman Simpson.
Thank you, Your Honor. I rise in support of this resolution. Just a couple questions for Mr. Moriarty. I notice here it creates essentially a new green space. Would this be a part of the private property lot next to it, or would this be a parcel of land for the city? As in, like, would this be a public park?
Yeah, it's like a small pocket park.
Beautiful. And any connectedness here to the Beeline trail routes for bike lanes?
It doesn't, but the Beeline trail pretty much goes parallel to this. And these two projects really complement each other. The end of this project is pretty much at Lincoln Street where the trail's coming in. Yeah, between those two projects, we're significantly transforming this entire stretch, which I think is a little bit blighted. You know, after you come under that underpass, that little stretch, it really needed a facelift, and these two projects are going to really make this area a whole different feel.
Thank you. And in terms of walkability, is this intersection getting new pedestrian traffic signals? I know we were exploring concurrent cycles and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is this coming in?
It is. Yeah. It's adding pedestrian crossings that didn't currently exist. Shortening the distance for pedestrian crossings. I mean, it's as vehicular safety project also, but I mean, community connectivity grant that funded this is really about pedestrian connectivity. So that's one of the primary aspects of this project. And coincidentally, by us getting this project to bid with the community connectivity grant, there was some more community connectivity fund that came available. So our application that was for concurrent ped phasing, we're learning that that's likely to be granted under the same program. So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
I urge adoption. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mark? Seeing none. Thank you, Mark.
Yep.
Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Alderwoman Barbosa for item number 6.
I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 6.
Second by Alderman Barrero.
This is the city of New Britain is seeking to maintain a uniform policy for the emergency management performance grant payment. The city is authorizing the mayor to accept the EMPG program conditions of eligibility for federal fiscal year 2025, which began October 1st, and to execute any and all documents necessary for the city to receive such grants, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Centeno for item number 7.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 7.
Second by Alderwoman Luz Luna.
This resolution is in regards to a contract for the fire department, or actually, the New Britain Fire Department has always strived to provide the most to-date technology platforms to its firefighters in an effort to improve our ability to serve the city of New Britain. And the New Britain Fire Department currently is utilizing Vector Solutions, Target Solutions Edition, as its electronic learning management system to provide online training, content, and training documentation to conduct and track all legally required training. Victor Solutions has provided this the attached invoice, which I have here, and for renewal of these services for the period of July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027, in the amount of $14,719.70. I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderwoman Barbosa for item number 8.
Your Honor, I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 8.
Second by Alderman Smedley.
The fire department is required to provide all New Britain firefighters with structural firefighting protective gear that is compliant with the National Fire Protection Association standards. This resolution is allowing the fire department to contract with C&S Specialty Inc. of North Smithfield, Rhode Island, for the purchase of 20 full sets of Lion V4 structural firefighting gear for the amount of $83,200 under the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program funded from the Fire Department Fire Operations Fund, line 001212002-5659, operating materials and supplies, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any questions on this one? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderwoman Barbosa for item number 9.
Your Honor, I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 9.
Second by Alderman Santiago.
This is for the records management system renewal contract with First Due of Garden City, New York. It's to continue to provide the records management system to include the modules in the attached quote with the subscription starting July 1st of 2026, funded from the fiscal year 2027, line 00121-23001-5434, maintenance contracts, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any comments on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderwoman Ortiz Luna for item number 10.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 10.
Second by Alderman Borrero.
This resolution is to make an adjustment to the fire department budget. And it's to transfer $30,000 from the fire department fire operation funds, line 0012-12002-5337, which is the training, covers training and conferences, to the fire department operation funds, line 0012-12002-5659, which is covers operating materials and supplies, and is to cover 20 sets of structural firefighting turnout gear. And I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any comments or questions? Seeing none for this one, we have to have a roll call. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Alderman McNamara,
Yes.
Alderwoman Scott,
Yes.
Alderman Simpson,
Yes.
Alderman Smedley, Alderman Malinowski, Alderman Gibson, Alderwoman Delarnia, Alderman Santiago,
Yes.
Alderwoman Barbosa, Alderwoman Maldonado, Alderman Centeno, Alderwoman Ortiz Luna, Alderman Borrero. 13 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Motion carries. Alderwoman Barbosa for item number 11.
Your Honor, I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 11.
Second by Alderwoman Luz Luna.
This is a purchase order that's been requested by the New Britain Support Services Department Public Safety Telecommunications Center. They are asking for a purchase order to be issued for server hardware and equipment in the total amount of $52,944 to CDW Government of Chicago, Illinois for the purchase of server equipment upgrades utilizing the State of Connecticut's DAS contract number 13PSX0280, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Alderman Simpson for item number 12.
Thank you, Your Honor. I rise to make a motion to accept and adopt item number 12.
Second.
Second by Alderman Santiago.
Thank you. This resolution is pretty interesting. Long story short, we are a member of CCM. The City of New Britain is a member of CCM, the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities. And there is a seller that is essentially, because of our membership, selling electricity produced right here in the state of Connecticut through solar energy production. And as a result, engaging in this resolution, passing as is, would mean that the city receives an annual cash payment from the selling of this electricity in the amount of $15,000 for 20 years. And these funds can be used to cover the city's electrical bills. It can also be used to improve our own capacity building for electricity production, totally green, to my knowledge, zero carbon emissions. And with that, I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any discussion on this one? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Simpson for item number 13.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 13.
Second by Alderman Malinowski.
Thank you. This resolution is also tied to electricity, particularly our Facilities and Energy Division. Essentially, this is an agreement for the minimum of 1 year with the, with Titan Energy of Hartford, again, through our membership through CCM, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions on this one? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Barrero for item number 14.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to motion to urge and adopt resolution number 14. This is
Second by Alderman Santiago.
This is regarding the New Britain Police Department for the air-cooled chiller in critical condition for the facility. So it's to replace the condenser coil, which is going to cost $54,050, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Alderman Malinowski for item number 15.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item 15.
Second by Alderman Gibson.
And this is for the purchase of one 2025 Ford F-350 with an 8.5-foot Fisher snowplow for the New Britain Public Works Department. It is at a cost of $63,275.10. Glad I don't have to buy a car right now. And I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions on this one? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Alderwoman Scott for item number 16.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 16.
Second by Alderman Barrero.
This is for Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental health is essential for our overall well-being, and it's important for our families, our individuals, and communities. In Connecticut, 20% of adults experience mental health disorders, highlighting the widespread of mental health challenges across our state. In 2022, Connecticut lost approximately 398 residents tragically to losing their lives by suicide. In 2025, Connecticut faced a heartbreaking loss of 5 students to suicide, underscoring the urgent need for mental health support among youth. The City of New Britain recognizes the importance of raising awareness about mental health issues, reducing the stigma, and promoting access to mental health services for all residents. Mental Health Awareness Month provides the opportunity to educate the public, advocate policies, and support mental health, and celebrate the resilience of those living with mental health disorders. And so mental health is a part of everything that we do. It's essential. And this year is the first year that we're seeing mental health. We passed a resolution to see it for every single day here in New Britain. And it's a part of our safety, our education, our daily living to spread awareness and ending the stigma. You don't have to have a problem to seek therapy. Any person can benefit from having a human connection to a non-judgment person and a non-judgment environment. As a licensed professional counselor, I want to encourage everyone to seek resources if you ever need any support or you have a family member or friend that needs any support. You can look on Psychology Today. There's a list, put in your zip code. A lot of therapists will come up. You can call 211. You can talk to your provider, your primary care provider. Call 211 or 911 in emergency. So I'm working on getting more information out for everyone so everybody can have access to information if you should ever need any. I know we lost a student here in New Britain recently as well to, I believe, to suicide. So I hope that everyone will support anyone that you see that might be in need. And also we're having an event for mental health on the May 29th at 6:30. We had one last month and it was really great. We did some paintings. I think we're gonna do some other activities this time as well. It's free, we'll have some refreshments, and it's a good way for us to connect with each other and learn coping skills. And there's a walk at Walnut Hill Park as well on Saturday. So I hope everyone will spread awareness and support each other, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Simpson for item number 17.
Thank you, Your Honor. I rise to make a motion to accept and adopt item number 17.
Second by Alderman Barrero.
Thank you. This is a resolution simply recognizing May as the month of May as Jewish American Heritage Month, and I'm just going to read it into the record here. Whereas Jewish Americans have contributed significantly to the cultural, economic, academic, scientific, civic, and political development of the United States, and whereas Jewish Americans have played an essential role in shaping the history and values of our nation through leadership, public service, innovation, education, the arts, business, philanthropy, and whereas the Jewish American Heritage Month provides an opportunity to celebrate the enduring achievements and diverse experiences of Jewish Americans throughout our nation's history. And whereas recognizing Jewish American Heritage Month promotes understanding, inclusion, religious freedom, and appreciation for the many contributions Jewish Americans continue to make in communities across the country. And whereas the City of New Britain reaffirms its commitment to unity, equity, and justice, and honors the invaluable role that Jewish Americans individuals play in shaping a more inclusive and prosperous future for all. And now, therefore be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of New Britain formally recognizes the month of May as Jewish American Heritage Month within the City of New Britain. And I would just like to add that there are many Jewish Americans who have contributed greatly to my life and my upbringing right here in the City of New Britain. And they teach me every single day to stand up and fight against oppression, to stand up against genocide, and to stand for those who do not have a voice, because many of those within the Jewish community have shared that same exact experience. And it is important to take these stories and build a better future in the shell of the old. I urge adoption. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderwoman Scott for item number 18.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 18.
Second by Alderman Barrero.
This is for Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. The AAPI Heritage Month is observed annually on the month of May, and it recognizes the contributions, history, and culture of Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders in the United States. The City of New Britain is a home of a vibrant, diverse population, including residents of the Asian American Pacific Islander community, descendants, and its enriched community through the culture, heritage, and civic engagement. It represents a vast variety of languages, traditions, histories, and woven and fabric American society, and contribute to the culture, social, and economic vitality in New Britain. This month serves as an important opportunity to celebrate and strengthen of the diverse and foster greater understanding of inclusion and respect among all residents of New Britain, and the equality, justice, and honors the AAPI individuals play in the shaping of our prosperous future for all. And I just wanted to thank CCSU for having me to share with their celebration for this month. And the museum is going to be having a free event all day Saturday, free access to celebrate the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So I encourage everyone to stop by there, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any discussion, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Gibson for item number 19. Oh, sorry. Alderman Smedley for item number 19.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt Resolution 19.
Second by Alderman Malinowski.
Thank you. This is a resolution to appoint Jamie Vaughn as alderperson for Ward 2, and I'll read the resolution into the record. Pursuant to the Charter of the City of New Britain, the Common Council is vested with the authority to fill a vacancy in the position of alderperson for Ward 2, and whereas a vacancy currently exists in said position, and the Republican Rudd Caucus of the New Britain Common Council hereby submits with full support the nomination of Jamie B. Vaughn of 17 Cottage Place to fill such vacancy. And whereas Mr. Vaughn is a United States Marine Corps veteran who has demonstrated a strong commitment to service and leadership. And whereas he currently serves as an elected constable for the city of New Britain and previously served on the New Britain Veterans Commission. And whereas he brings over 25 years of professional leadership experience and a proven record of community engagement, public safety collaboration, and organizational management. And whereas he has demonstrated integrity, accountability, and a commitment to serving the residents of New Britain. Now therefore be resolved that the Common Council of the City of New Britain hereby appoints Jamie B. Vaughn to serve as alderperson for Ward 2. I would also just like to stress that Mr. Vaughn is fully qualified to fill the position as is required in our charter, as you have heard previously related to minority and majority representation. So I would encourage the council to vote in favor of Mr. Vaughn's appointment this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Santiago?
Due to pending legal litigations and reviews, I make a motion to table.
Second by Alderwoman Maldonado. Okay. All those in favor of tabling? Roll call? Yep. Okay, we'll have a roll call. Madam Clerk?
Alderman McNamara,
Yes to table.
Alderwoman Scott,
Yes, for tabling.
Alderman Simpson,
Yes.
Alderman Smedley,
No.
Alderman Malinowski, Alderman Gibson, Alderwoman Delernia,
No.
Alderman Santiago,
Yes.
Alderwoman Barbosa, Alderwoman Maldonado, Alderman Centeno,
Yes.
Alderwoman Ortiz Nuna, Alderman Barrero.
Yes.
9-4, Your Honor, to table.
This motion carries the table.
Your Honor,
Alderman Santiago.
I would like to remove item number 37152, annual description for Panagonia Health, Inc. for the City Building Health Department off the table.
Second.
Second by Alderwoman Barbosa.
There was question, I'm sorry, Your Honor, it was questions asked if this was solely, Caleb is here to speak on behalf of it.
I think we have to vote on.
Oh, just a thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're going to vote on to remove
From table.
from table. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Again,
Any questions and comments? Alderman
Yes, Your Honor.
Santiago.
Caleb is here to speak on behalf of the resolution. Thank you.
Good evening again. Glad I could be the bookmark on the end of this event. So I think that the question was about the sole proprietorship for, or sole vendor for this software. So after our last meeting, we went and we did some research to try to find other vendors that would be able to compete with what our existing system is. All the vendors that we came up with were equal, if not more expensive in price. The other bigger issue was that the cost to move over our existing data to a new system would be costly. In addition to that, it would also take some downtime to retrain our staff. Lastly, there was a module that this particular system has with regard to inventory management for our medications, for vaccines, and also for our sexually transmitted disease medications that doesn't exist in the other ones that we looked at. It was possible to find it, but through a third party, so that would add an additional cost. So we went to our purchasing agent and requested an analysis, and they did create a memo identifying that Patagonia is a source sole vendor.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay, motion to adjourn, second by Alderman Simpson. Okay, so the meeting is adjourned at